The mashed potatoes were cold by the time I put down my fork. Not that I tasted them. The table was set for 7. Burgundy candles flickered above hand-polished crystal. Silverware aligned like soldiers. A roast turkey glistened in the center, untouched, carved with precision, garnished with rosemary, still warm. No one came. Not Mom, not Dad, not my brother and his kids. Just me and the silence. I stared at the front door until my vision blurred. Not from rage, that would have been easier, but humiliation, the kind that wraps around your ribs and makes it hard to breathe. I'd spent 2 weeks planning this dinner, reserved the private dining room at Ashcraft Manor, paid in full, even arranged their favorite jazz quartet to play at the entrance. And yet, they went to my brother's house instead. No call, no explanation, just absence. And then, right as I pushed away my plate, Grandpa walked in. Late, alone. He looked confused at first, then angry, but not at me. "Where's your father?" he asked, his voice gravel and smoke. "Your mother? Why am I sitting here alone with the one person they pretended didn't exist?" I didn't answer. Couldn't. My mouth was full of shame. He sat down slowly, his hands trembling slightly as he unfolded his napkin. Then he said something that shifted the floor under my feet. "I found out who told them not to invite you this year. Your father said the seat was needed for someone else, someone who mattered more. You know who took my place?" I shook my head. He looked me dead in the eye. "Your brother's new business partner. The one your father invested in behind your back. The same one who bought out your half of the shop last month." That was when the noise in my head went quiet. Growing up, I was the fixer, the reliable one. My brother Jacob was the dreamer, charming, risky. He could break a rule and smile his way out of it. Me, I colored inside the lines. I built things from the ground up. Dad used to say, "You're the foundation." Jake's the paint on the walls. Funny how foundations get buried while the paint gets praised. We opened a family business together, Jacob and I, a custom furniture shop. I handled operations. He handled Flash. We shook hands and split everything 50-50. That was before he started skipping meetings and showing up with advisors. One of them was slick, polished, wore shoes that cost more than my truck. Then came the documents. Legal, binding. I should have read them closer, but I trusted my brother. He said it was just paperwork to restructure our shares. He restructured me out of my own company, and our parents stood by him. I didn't yell, didn't fight, didn't beg. Instead, I watched, waited, learned. I traced every dollar Dad invested in Jacob's expansion and found out it wasn't legal. He used a retirement fund he wasn't supposed to touch. If anything went wrong, he could lose everything. And Jacob, he was cooking the books already. I kept copies, logged emails, even had voice memos. I learned from the best, them. So I built my own case quietly, a financial and legal noose. Then Thanksgiving came, the perfect stage. I reserved Ashcraft Manor's private room under my name, told them all weeks in advance, sent custom invitations. I made it impossible to ignore. I even told my parents Grandpa would be there, but someone whispered in their ear, told them to go to Jacob's instead. Someone convinced them Grandpa was too old to notice that I'd understand. They underestimated me, and him. When Grandpa walked into that empty room and saw the truth himself, I handed him an envelope. No words, just the facts. Bank records, emails, voicemails, receipts. He read in silence, then said, "Your father gave away my seat to a con man. I built this family's name. He's about to bury it." The next morning, Grandpa showed up at Jacob's house. I didn't go. I didn't need to. I'd already set the fire. He set them all down, Dad, Mom, Jacob, and the smiling business partner, and laid out the evidence. Not just about the stolen shares, but about the fraud, about the forged documents. He told them what I was too dignified to say. "You abandoned your son to chase a fantasy, and now that fantasy is going to cost you your pension, your house, and your name." Then he pulled his will from his coat pocket and tore it in half. Ink's not dry anymore. Within days, Jacob's business account was frozen. His partner skipped town. Dad got audited. And Grandpa, He handed me the keys to his old cabin workshop. Said it was mine now. Thanksgiving came late for me that year, but it came. This time when I sat at the table, there were no empty seats, just people who chose to be there. They say betrayal feels like a knife in the back. They're wrong. It's quieter than that. It's an empty chair at a table you built with your own hands. But revenge is simple. It's not yelling, not breaking. It's watching them realize you were the only honest one in the room and they lost you forever.